It's your boy Jim Shoe. Keep it the chip tube within your face. Art, man. We make art. We sell art. Thank you guys for watching this video. Just want to let you know that each and every video is sponsored by inyourfaceart.com. You'll be able to check down the link in the description so you can see many of the artworks that we do, designs, t-shirts, posters, customization, all that great stuff. So thank you for joining us, man. Thank you for coming to watch this video. I hope you get a lot of great value from it, a lot of good laughs.
Welcome everybody to the N-Word for Nerd podcast. Can you dig it?
We can dig it.
Hey,
wait. Are we doing DC's Whoop There It Is, or are we doing the Warriors? What are we doing?
Ooh, well, because it is a movie podcast. Let's go with the Warriors. Let's go with the Warriors.
Dude. Love that
N-Word
movie. They should remake that movie. We were at a remake. We did a remake segment where we should say which one we want to get rebooted. I should have put the Warriors. Unless I did. I don't know. I don't remember. I drink a lot on the show.
You did not put the Warriors. The Warriors would make a good reboot or remake, or even a continuation. I would like to see a futuristic area of New York after how these gangs have divided and destroyed this land. Because let's be completely honest,
post-apocalyptic Warriors TV show or something.
Because even the Warriors was, even though set in the era, it still was kind of apocalyptic. Like, these gangs have overrun these boroughs. Like, by far.
How you living in fucking Greenest Village and have a gang out there?
Right. Hey, look, gotta protect your own.
Upper West Side Furies or some shit. Upper West Side
till I die. We gotta protect the old, brother. Yes. So welcome to the N-Word for Nerd podcast. Everybody who's been here for the very first time, thank you for joining us. If you're a repeat viewer, welcome back. I know the seat's lovely. Sit back and enjoy the ride. As always, if you don't know what the N-Word for Nerd is, it is movie reviews from the blurb perspective. And
do I have to say the word blurb?
I mean, if you want to.
Which, for all you white, you mayonnaise flavored people out there, that means black nerd.
There you go. From the black nerd.
Jason don't put no mayonnaise on his sandwich, guys.
Oh, I do not. Oh, I don't even like Miracle Whip. That's how far I try to stay away.
Like, don't even come near me with that shit.
Only thing that white that sleeps with me is my sheets. Oh, and my wife. But outside of that, no. But guys, welcome. We have a hell of a show for you guys as always. Mei Lee is a 13-year-old girl who is torn between being her mother's obedient daughter and the chaos of her youth. As if that were not enough, when she gets too excited, she turns into a big red panda. Yes, that is the summary of Disney Pixar's Turning Red. All right, we're gonna do it again, Jason. One sentence to summarize this movie. What would it be?
All periods turn red.
My one sentence will be Disney teaches my kids about puberty? ? I would jump into this one. Now, we already know it's Pixar, so we're going to gush. If anybody's watched any of our Pixar reviews, I don't think it's a time that we haven't really gushed over Pixar. It's a well-made movie, good character development, always hits you in the feels, especially for me, having daughters, hits me in the feels, and etc. I know, like, 20 minutes into this movie, I text the group thread that we're on part of with Jaron and my friend Alex, and I go, is this movie about puberty? Because they don't even hide the fact that it's about puberty. And no, the crazy thing is, earlier that week, my daughter comes home and goes, hey, in health class, we were learning about puberty. She goes, but it was awkward because the girls' class was going on, and then we would finish, and we could hear them talking in the boys' class about puberty to the boys. And she was like, it just felt weird. And I said, why did it feel weird? She goes, well, you know, because they were talking about the boys and where the hair grows and about blah, blah, blah. So she went through that whole thing. And as a grown adult, because I forget about that stage, I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. And then as I watched this movie, I was like, oh, yeah. I see why my daughter's like, this is awkward. Because as I'm watching this girl turn into a red panda, I'm feeling awkward. And I'm like, it's not even showing anything. And I'm like, oh, she's so mean right now. Oh, it's so cringy. But it does smooth out and becomes a fun Disney Pixar film in the sense that, like, she does the whole great power, great responsibility, but also the family portion of it. the biggest things I do enjoy about this movie is that I did enjoy that they got to highlight one, people of color, ethnicity, but then also the mother being the strong, dominant force in the house. I thought that was a very huge change because usually Pixar does kind of the aloof dad, but has like has the power or like is the knowledge bringer or some kind of way they always bring the dad back in to be something more than he is at the end. I felt like this one was definitely a story for women and about women, about lineage, about heritage, and also beyond that, just about the growth from a girl becoming a woman and how that changes the atmosphere around the household. These are the things that I picked up from it, but I think also too me having two daughters really had my king like really had steeped my interest into this and how this movie was going to move and what messages they were going to give to my daughters in this way. So I was really hyper into this and analyzing all the moves here. I think the last part of it I think is just really dope is that you find out in a brief moment because they don't linger in it that like everybody deals with this. Like all the women in the family have dealt with this. And it was almost like they tried to hide it away. But from this movie, it made it feel like, hey, we're still going to keep it back, but we realize that it's okay. It's okay to be this. It's okay to be who you are. It's okay to be and feel different. It's okay. And I thought that was really dope. Um, I know you're going to have some comments about some overtures that I did not catch in the movie, even though it was one, because I did ask my family, hey, do y'all think this one character is gay? And they're like, no, what are you talking about? And I go, all right, then I'm going to shut up. And I close my mouth for this anything else. So you might have caught those overtures that I didn't catch in that one or didn't go forward on. But Turner Red is just a good movie, man. Pixar, Disney never really disappoint. And I think this one, as heavy-handed as I think they laid it on, what their premise was, I do feel like the movie eased up as it went on. And I think the easing up of it was the cool part. Is because you got to see. And, oh, sorry. Now, when I say this too, when I talk about these relationships and all that, I'm talking about even with her friends. This is probably the best friend group I've ever seen in a movie. Not even just Disney kids. Or cartoon. In a movie. Like, I'm mad that I don't have friends like this. Like,
oh, whoa, bro. What the fuck?
I just want to say I have really good friends, but y'all not like them. Let's keep it a buck. Like, y'all not like them. Her friend group is
honestly,
they're just amazing.
If you turned into a giant red anything that isn't human, I'd be like, this relationship is over.
With that being said, Jason, what are your thoughts on Turning Red?
I loved this movie. Even to the point where, like, okay, so for those probably who don't read a lot or keep up on the social medias or stuff like that, there was a little bit of controversy. A reviewer of Cinema Blend, a person of Napkin Variety, said that they couldn't relate to this film. It was too specific. I'm a cisgendered, mostly heterosexual black male, and I fucking loved this movie. And this movie is probably was not my demographic was probably not even in the back of anybody's mind when they made it, right? Like this does have, I would say, a specific sort of person that they're gearing towards, but it also has like a universal, for at least especially for probably people of color, a universal sort of thing to it as well. And like yeah, I'm never going to go through puberty, but we all change during that stage. You know, we all have our ups and downs, our trials and tribulations. Some of us, you know, have it harder than others, obviously. But you know, everybody goes to that point. Well, I would hope everybody, or at least most of us, go to that point where, you know, not only are you questioning like who you are, but you're also questioning like who you are in relation to others, you know, not or in dealing with the expectation of your family or of your friends, of just society around you and all those other good stuff. And like this movie just spoke to that so very well. Like, God, I love this freaking movie. Mei as the panda is probably the most adorable thing I've ever seen. Let's go into technical things. Like Pixar is very good at their craft. They've always been great at the art of animation and the style of storytelling. This one was probably even better, even though they still kind of have that Pixar design to their characters. You can definitely tell there's a lot of anime influence in there, a lot of other Eastern Asian influences in there, just in the style of animation, not in just the general presentation. Because obviously the main character is a Chinese young woman, so like, but just in the style of animation itself, you can definitely tell that someone was like, I watch a lot of fucking One Piece, and we're gonna put the shit in our Pixar movie. So it was just really heartening to see that in your Disney movie here, that people have put their cultural influences in the style of the animation themselves, as well as the characters and the storytelling. Um, to that also respect is, and I want to talk to you about this. I've seen a lot of things about people complaining that, especially in like Disney movies, that people of color always have to change into an animal in these movies, and like people want it, like or change in some other form, like in Soul, the black dude was a little soul thing. This young lady changes to a panda, and I like it. This doesn't, like, I don't see this as like, especially like all the other Pixar movies that we've done. They come with such a cultural respect for the source material that it doesn't seem like erasure. It seems like celebration. And like, even though like, yeah, there might be a trope that, we have to change everybody into an animal. So I'm like, there is still so much cultural specific stuff here. It's like, who cares? Like, obviously the director is an Asian woman. Like, if she was like not down with this, and maybe it's because of her, corporate overlords person, she gotta change it to a panda or something,
Well, and also too, I think sometimes it's overblown a bit. I mean, Moana didn't change in anything. Raya didn't change into anything. Now, I know those are more recent, but it all stemmed from the Princess and the Frog, with her playing most of the time as a frog than actually a black woman. And trust me, I'm one of the harshest critics about that as well. But I think sometimes it's overblown to a degree that at the end of the day, we're still doing a kids movie. I mean, Aladdin and Jasmine, one of the OGs. So let's be real. When we had no other dark faces, they were the darkest we were going to get. They didn't turn into any animals. Like, well,
yeah,
I guess no. Genie never turned them into anything. He turned all the side characters into other animals.
He turned him into a prince because
yeah. So like, I mean, I think sometimes it's overblown. I think just because Tiana, it happened to her, and you can make an argument to that point. No other Disney princess had been turned, because I believe that came out before Brave came out.
Yeah.
So no other Disney princess had been turned.
Well, even in Brave, it was her mother that was turned into a bear, not her. But anyway,
right. But it was a royalty that was turned into a bear. Yeah.
For this particular movie, this should not be added into that conversation. And obviously, I'm not the cultural authority on everybody. Y'all have the right to disagree. Obviously, everybody has the right to their own opinion. And hey, come at me in the comments and be like, "Yo, Jason, you're wrong. You're a fucking sellout," and I'll come to your house and fight you. And we'll see who's got what.
I mean, look, I'm fine with being a sellout, because I think it's overblown. I think it's a point to be made. I think the point's overblown is what my comment is. Like, yes, do we have something to turn into animals? Absolutely. Do I think it is as bad as we are making it seem? Because I just named 3 other people who didn't turn into animals, and
if you're just doing like just Pixar movies as a whole, like just only using that as the sample size of, you have pretty much almost the only movies that don't have humans in them, or that have humans in them, and they don't change, is like The Incredibles, and that's it. Like, because
you can make the argument that Incredibles do change because they're genetically
Incredibles
different than everybody.
Because in Inside Out, we're all in the girl's head, and she just got, and it's Incredibles and Up are the only 2 that I think were
Up. The kid was Asian or Korean. I thought he was Korean in there. He didn't change.
Yeah, so like, I don't know. I think Pixar definitely comes at it with a more respect for their subject matter, and then probably even as Disney as a whole does. Like, they are going to treat these subject matters with respect, even though they're still greedy corporations trying to get our monies. But damn, I love this movie. Let's just go back to that. Damn, I love this movie. I'm sitting here like a fucking just giddy. Here's my biggest problem with this movie. Fuck you, Disney, for putting Pixar movies on Disney Plus. And here's the thing: these movies need to be in the theater. And here's also the thing, and this is probably a catch-22 because the trailers of this, I was like, this is probably not for me, right? And I probably would not have seen this in the theater, right? If I didn't have to. But the fact that I did see this and then my only option was to watch it in my rinky dink. I mean, I got a nice TV and shit like that, but I should have seen this in the theater. I should have been in there with the kids and just enjoying life and having the whole entire experience because this is a fucking excellent movie. And y'all just put it on your little fucking app. And I guess it will see more eyes that way. And I guess that's a plus, but it's like y'all not giving it the respect it deserves because Pixar, they are the fucking milestone. They are the premier house of animation. That's what kids go to animation school to do is Pixar. They don't go to do fucking Blue Sky or I mean it's probably now Sony, but they don't go out there to work at Illumination. They end up there because everybody got to eat. But they go to Pixar, and like y'all need to treat them better.
Is it because Soul was Pixar that went straight to? I mean, we're in the middle of the pandemic, but that went straight to Raya and the Last Dragon. That's considered what Disney, right? Or is that considered
that's just
Pixar?
Disney? And Encanto
because that went to theaters.
That went to
theaters. Raya and the Last Dragon went to theaters. What was before that? It was something else. But you're right. I feel like all the Pixar movies they're just releasing at home. But they're not putting them in the theaters.
They're not. I mean, like think about especially the way that Encanto has done, because Encanto was in the theaters and has been this massive cultural thing.
Yeah.
You would think like all their other new releases from that point on, especially now that the pandemic is kind of slowing down, they would put in the theaters. But here we are. Even though that's great because I'm poor.
Facts.
But sometimes I could have seen this in the theaters. That's all.
I know we went off of tandems, had nothing to do with Turning Red. It is not indicative of how good the movie is. The movie's great. Jason, what is your rating for Turning Red?
5 out of 5, easily 5 out of 5. This is a masterpiece. Again, they just do it.
Yeah, I would give it a 4.5 out of 5 because I don't see myself revisiting this. But if it ever was on TV, my girls put it on, I definitely would sit down and watch it. It would be like, yay! But for a 5 for me is something that I could be sitting around and be like, you know what? I want to watch that movie. This ain't it for me, but I think it's because again, like it is not enough fights in it for me. Well, once again, I hate to tell everybody who's listening that we have done the thing that we do every week, which is we have reached the end of the show. I know. It hurts me because I sit here, we do this and we talk, and I enjoy doing this. But just remember, guys, 1, you could always order a can of Nerd Focus and rewind this whole show and listen again. 2, you can always order a case of Nerd Focus, and we have a lot of other shows on our podcast and our YouTube site that you can go watch some more of this and listen to other opinions we have. And 3, you can just get a case of Nerd Focus because, it helps us out. It helps your boys out. It helps the team. You know what I'm saying? You want to reinvest. We want better mics, better studios. We want better backgrounds than the Guardians of Justice. That's how you help us.
I need money. I'm poor.
You want to help Jason pay his rent? That's how you do it. You buy some Nerd Focus. Also, my man, In Your Face Art. I have some shirts coming in soon. When I get my shirt on, I'll let you guys know. And yeah, we can get some In Your Face art popping out here in these streets. So be on the lookout for that. I'll have this stuff in the description as always. And like I said last week, our new initiative is sharing. Sharing is caring. And that is one of the better. Besides, if you can't afford to buy some Nerd Focus, because some people, you may be like Jason, you may be a little bit poor. You may be like me where, I don't want to put all that caffeine and energy in my body. Other way to help us, that's free 99. Free 99 is sharing the product. After you get done listening to us and you enjoy this, hit the share it on Facebook. Share it if you got Twitter. Share it if you got Instagram. Just share it and just say, hey, it's some cool guys, some blurbs, black nerds, if you forgot that I enjoyed their commentary. These guys are pretty dope. Or these guys suck and hear how bad they are. And have people view in. Just all you got to do.
Share it with your racist uncle. Share it with your racist mom. Share it with your racist ex-girlfriend.
Yeah. Racist. Yes, I'm glad you broke up with that bitch too, because she was pretty racist. For whoever had the racist ex-girlfriend, just putting that out there for you. But yeah, share. That's a new initiative. Sharing is caring. Share it. If you can't get some nerd focus, do that good stuff. By all means, share our content with other people. And shout out to people who've been supporting the Batman review that we got up on again on our channels everywhere. We've had some great comments on there because I feel like me and you are the only contrarians in the business
keep it
right
100
now.
Here.
Exactly.
I just found out what that phrase meant. It means we keep it truthful and honest. So
yes. Wait till I teach them what it means when we say we keep it at 1,000. That's when you take it.
Oh shit! It goes up.
Oh yes, yeah, 100%. Just ain't enough now for keeping it real. You got to get to the thousands. With all that being said, guys, share. Jason, any final words?
All right, I'm gonna switch it up today for my normal sign off and say we talked about some pretty serious subjects here about suicide and mental health. If you feel like you are not yourself or you feel like you need help, please go and seek out help. There are plenty of resources out there. If the first one don't work, try the next one. Mental health is very, very important. Please take care of yourself, both inside and out. That's all I gotta say. And I love you guys. Be kind and considerate, and tip your bartenders 20% or more.
Even if it's Jaren.
Even if it's Jaren.
With that being said, as always, guys, I thank you and appreciate you guys for listening and joining us today. Yes, we do this for us to enjoy our time, but when we see the numbers go up, it makes us even more invigorated to want to do the show and bring you better and more fun and more entertaining content. So again, when you share and do that, that lets us know that we're doing something that you all enjoy. And if you all enjoy it, I'll bet you damn sure we definitely enjoy doing it. But you make us even want to work harder when we know that you guys enjoy it. With all that said, again, we will see you all next week. Peace.
We out here.
Would you like to learn?